In today's video, a bitter baby mama thinks she can threaten the life of her father's child without consequences. Unfortunately for her, he kept receipts and he got the last laugh. Stay tuned.
Y'all are starting to make my job too easy. I just got out of a custody hearing that I won in basically 10 minutes. And I was able to achieve this all because of just one sentence. One sentence stated by the child's mother. Well, Lauren, what's going on? I thought you'd never ask. I'm representing a father in a custody case. The couple used to be together, not together anymore. Once they broke up, they had a court order put in place. The child lived with mom. Dad has his visitation rights. Note that I was not the attorney on the original custody case. So a year or so goes by after that original case, and Dad hires me because he's saying that mom is infringing on his rights as a father. She's not following the order. She's not letting him see his child. And since, in his words, she's alienating the child from him, that is not in the child's best interest. It is in the child's best interest for the child to have both parents in their life. So he's trying to tell the court the child should be with me because I wouldn't do this to the mother. She'll be able to be involved. The child should be with me, and she can't make good decisions. Also, fun fact, Dad moved out of state after the breakup. They don't live very far apart, maybe like a 5-hour drive, but important fact that child lives in Texas with mom, Dad doesn't. So after we filed the case, mom is starting to act right again because she knows we're heading to court. So Dad has been seeing the child. Well, during the visitation, Dad finds an air tag in the child's shoe. He gets rid of it. Also, please note that it is Texas law that if there is a pending family law case, no matter if that's divorce, custody, etc., you cannot track a child or party while that case is pending. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm here putting y'all up on game for free. There's a lot of laws in Texas that people don't agree with. Blame your legislators. They create the laws. Get out and vote. Well, mom goes to check the location of the air tag and she realizes the air tag has been disabled. It's off. And this is the one sentence that mom said that allowed me so effortlessly to win my hearing. She sends Dad a voice text and says if he does not cut that tracker back on so she can see where her child is, then she was going to call her brother to come pow him. And there's going to be some slow singing and flower bringing. So here I am in court, just bring on in my little portable speaker, cut it up to the max volume. And just like that, a simple play button, and the hearing was over. The judge looked at her after giving her some very choice words, told her she might want to go pack her child's bag so that the child doesn't have to start completely over from scratch because he will be moving in with Dad. Now, this is probably one of the worst days of her life, and it didn't help that she didn't have a great attorney because there is no way in hell I would have had that be my client and that happen because I gave her lawyer the recording. If roles were reversed and I was representing mom and he was representing Dad, the moment I would have heard that recording, I would have done a settlement offer and be like, let's work this out. Let's come together. Because I wouldn't have wanted what just happened to happen. Now look, you've lost your child. I don't want to see this happen to any of my followers. I love all 800,000 plus of you, if you're watching on TikTok. I don't want this to be you. So what did we learn from this? Drop down in the comments and let me know, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
I think there's a few lessons that we can take away from here. One, you need to be extremely, and I mean extremely careful with who you decide to have a child with. Number two, once you make that decision, that's a decision you make for life. You don't get to then dictate what that other parent has a right to be able to do with their child because things don't work out between you and them. That's not how it goes. They have just as much right as you do to their child. And number three, and probably the most obvious, if you're going to threaten someone in their life, you probably don't want to do it over voice recording where they can save it and then use it against you in a court of law. Just saying. My opinion has always been this when it comes to custody battles, where two parents, they're trying to figure out time management. Who's going to have the child for however much time? Trying to figure that whole thing out. My thought has always been this. If one parent ever prevents the other one from having access to that child, in essence, making the parent fight in order to see their child. Parent who's doing the preventing, terrible parent. Point blank, period, terrible parent. Because why should a parent have to fight for access to their child? Obviously, this is all things considered. They're not doing anything crazy. They're not a danger to the child. They're not doing anything that's causing the child any type of harm. They're perfectly capable, just like the other parent, of taking care of their child. And all things considered, that's what they were allowed to do when they were together. And now that they're no longer together, no longer on the same page as far as relationship wise, now this is when the trouble comes. And listen, I'm trying to be neutral for the sake of the conversation, but we know what this looks like. Typically speaking, this is the mother preventing the father from having access to his child. Even in this particular story, with everything that the father is being put through as far as the mother's vindictive ways, he's still perfectly fine with saying, hey, give me custody because I won't do these things to her. I will allow her to be able to see her child because that's her right. That's her privilege. That's what she is supposed to do. But I just want to be able to have a fair relationship with my child. And right now, she's preventing that. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into this next topic that we've discussed on this channel before. And it always gives me a good laugh. And that's why I kind of like to talk about it, because it really just separates those who live in reality versus those who like to live in the social media realm, where it's all about talking points and just saying outrageous things that, when applied to reality, don't really make sense. And so this next video is captioned with the title, How I Split Expenses with My Partner and the Rise of Conservatism. Let's check it out.
I have never wanted to tell commenters to touch grass more than on the videos where partners are explaining how they split their expenses. For some reason, I'm on this side of TikTok where people are breaking down like, oh, me and my boyfriend or me and my partner live together and this is how we split everything in our monthly budget. And no matter what the split is, people are in the comments hating on it. And I don't understand why. The split could be 70-30 and people are like, oh, so you have a roommate. Oh, so you're not dating a real man. Oh, so you have a job and you pay for things? Sounds like he doesn't love you.
Now we know she's being extremely kind when she says people are making these comments, because we know who people are. Women. These are women who live on social media talking points, most of whom are single, but live in a fantasy world where they would like to imagine if they did, this is what they would expect from their imaginary man.
I think that these people must be 10 years old, or they must be, 19 living at home or something, because a lot of these videos are people who are like in their 20s. Okay, we're talking 26 and 27. We're talking people who are probably making like $80,000, $90,000 a year, living in San Francisco. That's where I live, San Francisco, California, where a one bedroom could be like $4,000. And you're saying that there's something wrong with two people coming together and splitting finances in the way that is most proportional to their income? This is the rise of conservatism that we're talking about, okay? Pay attention to the ways that the rise of conservatism masks itself as like feminism. It is not feminist to comment and say that a woman should not contribute at all, or a woman shouldn't like have financial independence or have a job. Especially when we're talking about people who are in their 20s. I would understand maybe if we're talking about people in their 50s, if one person, maybe the man, if one person has like the type of like financial, like has like progressed in their career where they could be making enough money to support two people and a whole family. That makes sense to me. But in your 20s, most people are not. Like, how much money do you think people are making? Like, yes, there are people on the higher end who maybe they're in investment banking and they can support whatever, but a lot of people are making like $100,000, under $100,000 a year on the high end in their 20s. And to say that there's something wrong with two people in their 20s, woman and man maybe, if that's the relationship we're talking about, to be working, maybe making probably around the same, because guess what? If they're working at a similar level in a similar industry, hopefully they're making around the same. And then saying that it's weird that they're both contributing. That's how I know that you need to go and touch grass. I don't know anyone who, at my age, living in the city of San Francisco, California, I don't know any couples living together where they're both not contributing, where one person is covering the other. And if I had a girlfriend and she told me, yeah, like my boyfriend covers everything. I mean, great, I guess, if there's a huge financial difference. But if then she said that that's her reason for not working, that she's financially dependent, maybe she gets on TikTok, people say that's a great thing. That's not a great thing, it's a trap. Don't listen to it, it's a trap. They are fooling you. This is the alt-right trying to get you hooked, that you're financially dependent on a man. That's good. That's where we are. We have fought to be able to go to work. We have fought for this. We have fought for the independence that financial security allows you. Don't listen to the lies.
Listen, I want to give her some credit. I really do. Because for a good portion of that video, she was on the right track, making some very valid points. You live together with somebody, cost of living. You need to be able to support each other, build together. Takes two in order to make it work better. You know, you get more done as far as if more people are contributing. Completely understandable, makes logical sense when we just take a step back and think, hey, we're both adults. Why can't we both work from that perspective? Especially when you talk about no kids being involved into a relationship yet. And so there's no need for anyone to be at home as far as a stay-at-home parent. Then somehow she goes completely off the rails, blaming conservatism, speaking and talking about it is not really feminism, as if she's completely blind, which maybe she is. She is younger, so maybe this is just the lens in which she's seeing through things, but completely blind to the archetype of woman who you hear saying these things, which is usually the woman who would classify herself as the boss babe, as the woman who has the job, the career, who's making her own money, who don't need no man because she's strong and independent, who's living her life by the feminist playbook to a T. But if she's going to have a man, then she need a man who makes more money than her, can pay all the bills because, you know, she can do bad all by herself. And so statements like this aren't being made by women in the name of conservatism. They're being made by women who have adopted 304 talking points. And if I can find the actual video, because I actually spoke about this in a previous video with actual women who are legit 304s in real life. That's how those women actually make their money. They do that for a living. Spoke about how today modern women take those 304 talking points and are trying to apply them to what is supposed to be a traditional relationship. And that's not how it works. But anyway, let me know what you think. Leave your questions, your comments, your thoughts, and your feedback down below. You know, I appreciate every time you guys take the time to chime in. Don't forget, you enjoyed any part of the content, go ahead, make sure you smash the like button for more. Don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.